Hey there, this is Teacher Podcast episode 267. You need phrasal verbs. Here's why. Are you tired of lacking confidence when speaking English? Does it block you from achieving your true goals? This podcast is the place for you. This is Teacher Podcast. My name is Ola Mierniczak and I empower English learners to become confident speakers. The key to fluency is in your pocket. You'll boost your vocabulary, brush up your grammar, and improve your pronunciation. Enjoy your journey to fluency. Hi everyone, welcome back and thank you for choosing this episode. Today we're talking about one of the most powerful tools in the English language, phrasal verbs. And I know they can be confusing, but trust me, mastering phrasal verbs is absolutely worth it. By the end of this episode, you'll not only understand why they're so important, but also I hope you'll feel motivated to start using them in your daily conversations. But before we dive into today's episode, I have an exciting announcement. I'm hosting a phrasal verbs masterclass to help you learn, remember, and confidently use the most common phrasal verbs in English. If you've ever struggled with phrasal verbs, this is your chance to master them once and for all. Visit teacherola.com/masterclass and sign up there. Do it to save your spot. It's on the 20th and 21st of November. Of course, it's free. And it's Wednesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Sign up now. Now, let's get started. Why are phrasal verbs so important? So, why should you learn phrasal verbs? First of all, let's face it, phrasal verbs are everywhere. The speakers of English use them constantly, especially in casual conversations, but also at work, in movies, of course, in TV shows and songs, everywhere. I'm telling you, everywhere. For example, imagine your friend says, "Let's hang out this weekend." If you don't know what hang out means, you will be confused. But once you learn it, it means spend some time together. You'll start hearing it everywhere. And it's not just about understanding. Using phrasal verbs makes your English sound natural and fluent. Instead of saying, "I will arrange the meeting," you could say, "I'll set up the meeting. I'll set up the meeting." Doesn't that sound more relaxed? How phrasal verbs add nuance. Another reason phrasal verbs are important is that they add nuance to your speech. Think about the difference between give up, which is to quit, and give in, which means to surrender. If you mix those up, it could lead to some awkward moments. For example, saying "I gave up to my boss" instead of "I gave in to my boss." It changes the meaning entirely. That's why learning these little 2 or 3 word phrases is so valuable. They help you express yourself more accurately. Real life situations where you'll use phrasal verbs. Let's talk about real life, okay? Where will you actually use phrasal verbs? And let me say it again, everywhere. For instance, in social situations, catch up with friends, turn up at a party, hang out at the weekend. You'll use phrasal verbs at work. Let's follow up on that email. We need to bring up the budget. Or, unfortunately, they had to lay off staff. And you will hear it in pop culture. Think about phrases like break up in romantic movies or run out of time in a song lyric. But also in daily life, of course, phrasal verbs help you connect with people and understand what's happening around you everywhere. I think the word everywhere appeared 60 times here. Now, I get it, phrasal verbs can be tricky. One reason is that they often have multiple meanings. For example, take off. Take off can mean removing clothing, take off your jacket, leaving quickly, I need to take off soon, or becoming successful. His business is really taking off. And these are not all meanings of that phrasal verbs. But it's already confusing, right? But don't worry. The key is to learn them in context. Don't just memorize a list. Instead, study how they're used in real conversations, TV shows, or books. Another tip, of course, group them by topics. For example, travel, check in, take off, get on. Emotions, cheer up, calm down, freak out. So I'm just showing you the method. By focusing on related phrases, you'll remember them more easily. So how can you start mastering phrasal verbs today? Here's a quick action plan. A quick action plan because I'll give you a detailed one and more everything. I will give you the whole methodology of learning phrasal verbs during my masterclass. So don't forget to sign up right after you finish this episode. It's at teacherola.com/masterclass. So what can you do now? 1. Listen and observe. Pay attention to how English speakers use phrasal verbs in conversations, shows, and podcasts. Note it down, repeat out loud, use it. 2. Practice speaking. Use it. Start using. First, of course, simple, but then you will get on other levels. But first, start using simple verbs like wake up, turn up, get up in your daily routine. 3. Learn in chunks. Instead of memorizing individual words, learn phrases or short dialogues that include phrasal verbs. So learn in context. Remember, learning phrasal verbs takes time. It won't happen overnight, but every step you take will make your English sound more natural and fluent. Time to practice. Listen and repeat the sentences out loud. Let's go! Let's hang out this weekend. Let's hang out this weekend. I'll set up the meeting. I'll set up the meeting. I gave in to my boss. I gave in to my boss. Let's follow up on that email. Let's follow up on that email. Unfortunately, they had to lay off staff. Unfortunately, they had to lay off staff. Do you know why they broke up? Do you know why they broke up? Take off your jacket. Take off your jacket. His business is really taking off. His business is really taking off. Can we check in earlier? Can we check in earlier? Don't freak out. Don't freak out. That's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired to tackle those phrasal verbs head on. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you found this helpful, share it with a friend, with somebody who's learning English too. And don't forget to download your free worksheet that will help you actively practice what you've learned today. Go to teacherola.com/267 and grab your copy. If you've subscribed to my newsletter, just check your inbox. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Don't forget, if you want to boost your confidence with phrasal verbs, sign up for my free Phrasal Verbs Masterclass. It's a 2-day event, live and completely free. Sign up at teacherola.com/masterclass. Together, we'll make phrasal verbs a natural part of your English. I can't wait to see you there. I love you. I believe in you. I know you can speak English with fluency if you really want it. So stay fearless, take care, and say it out loud. I'm your teacher, Teacher Ola, and you are listening to Teacher Ola Podcast. Bye for now.